Live from Lexington, this is Fox 56 News. Now, breaking news.
He took it very serious.
The Scott County Sheriff and his deputies are in mourning tonight, hours after a colleague was killed in the line of duty. Good evening. We begin with breaking news. A man is in police custody tonight, accused of killing a Scott County deputy after a traffic stop. It happened just before 5 o'clock this evening along I-75 on an exit ramp near the Toyota plant.
Now, details are still pretty limited, but the Scott County Sheriff says the man who shot the deputy sped away going south, moving from I-75 onto US 25 toward Lexington. Our Vasi Prokos joins us now with more details.
First, here's what we know about the victim, Deputy Caleb Conley. He had been with the Scott County Sheriff's Department for 4 years. Before that, he served in the Army. He was 34 years old. He leaves behind small children and a wife. He is also survived by his parents.
We never want to see anything like this happen. The reality is we know it can, but when it does, it's hard.
It was an emotional news conference as Sheriff Tony Hampton talked about the loss of Deputy Caleb Conley.
He took his job very serious. He was just a go-getter, and he loved his job. And it's a shame that it got cut short because he loved this job so much, and he was so good at it.
After the deputy was shot, the suspect drove into Fayette County. Lexington police say he stopped in a parking lot by Rose and Jim's Bar on Georgetown Road, where he shot a man and stole his vehicle. Using the Flock license plate reader system, police were able to locate that vehicle on Whitney Avenue. They found the suspect nearby on Charles Avenue and arrested him. His name has not been released. A woman who lives in the neighborhood area says it's scary as an officer secured the scene.
He told us my house has to go to the far back. Shut the door. Do not come back, guys, until we knock on the door and tell you it's okay to. Okay? So that's what we did, because he threw us in there, actually. He saved us, I guess. Thank God he did.
Scott County Sheriff Tony Hampton says there are tough days ahead for his staff, which he feels as if they've lost a brother.
We're going to need each other, lean on each other. We got to be here for each other. We got to continue to do this job. But we can't forget him while we're doing that.
Kentucky State Police will head up the investigation into the shooting. That agency will release more details about the traffic stop, the two shootings, and the charges the suspect faces. The Scott County Sheriff's Office will also be closed tomorrow. Marvin.
Thank you, Vasi. Well, one person is dead, another hurt after an accident on I-75 last night in Lexington. The Fayette County coroner says 84-year-old Thomas Mollenkopf died on the scene. Officers say they were alerted to a wrong-way driver on I-75 southbound around 9 last night. Investigators say that driver, who may have had a medical emergency, crashed into 2 other cars. An 18-year-old man who was in one of the other vehicles was also injured. Police say he's in critical condition. There were no reported injuries in the third vehicle. Lexington police are investigating 2 overnight shootings on the same street, one of which was deadly.
Authorities are saying they responded to Florence Avenue around 10:30 last night for reports of shots fired. Police say they found one male victim with non-life-threatening injuries. Now, just a few hours later, around 3 a.m., police were called out to Florence Avenue again for the same thing, shots fired. When officers arrived, they found a male victim dead from a gunshot wound. The Fayette County coroner identified the victim as 19-year-old Jalen Henderson. His death is being ruled a homicide. It's unclear if the shootings are connected. Anyone with information is asked to call Lexington Police or Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. An investigation is underway after a fire on Lake Cumberland. Leaders with the South Russell Volunteer Fire Department say crews were called out to the State Dock Marina around 1 a.m. Sunday for a boat fire. The marina was on fire as well. Officials say a family was on board the boat at the time. They had to jump into the water to safety. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. We're also learning more about a massive fire in Perry County. It broke out around 8:30 last night at Crow's Tire and Battery Service in Hazard. After battling the fire for 8 hours, crews were called back out to the scene to fight the flames for a second time. At one point, more than 24 firefighters, 2 ladder trucks, and 3 fire engines were there. After extinguishing the flames, they were finally able to leave around noon today. Officials are expecting the scene to smolder for the next few days. They say the building is destroyed. Another investigation is underway after a car crashed into a Lexington home, leaving behind a big mess.
It happened just after midnight with a neighbor capturing parts of the crash on video. Georgia MacArthur has the latest details.
Take a look at how fast this car is flying down a neighborhood street in South Lexington. Moments later, witnesses say they heard a loud boom. Police say that's when the car crashed into a home on Venetian Way. In the video, you can see two men running away after the crash. And the thieves that stole the white car that crashed into this home learned how to do so by a TikTok video. It's called the Kia Challenge. The white Kia is one of thousands of cars stolen from Kia and Hyundai owners across the country in the past 2 years. The sharp uptick in thefts has been linked to viral videos posted to TikTok and other social media platforms, teaching people how to start the cars using only USB cables. Just last week, the automakers agreed to pay about $200 million to settle a class action lawsuit over the car's vulnerability to theft. A neighbor told Fox 56 that a woman showed up on the scene saying it was her car that crashed into the home. She said it was stolen. No one was in the house at the time of the crash. Police say they have not yet identified any suspects. In Lexington, Georgia MacArthur, Fox 56 News.
Turning to the weather now, it's finally starting to feel like early summer.
Yes, it is. Meteorologist Justin Esterly joining us now with a look at what's to come.
Hey, good evening. Hey, toasty one out there for us. Very comfortable, of course, too, as we went towards the upper 70s and almost made it to 80 in a few spots. London, Harlan, the only two spots I've got on the map that had 80 degrees today. We're going to keep getting closer to that number as we stroll through this week. It's going to be pleasant all across the board. Tonight, we're into the 60s already. Lexington, 65, 64 there in Richmond, 67 McKee. Keep that going for us here as we head into tomorrow morning as well, bottoming out somewhere in the 50s. We do have just a little bit of light wildfire smoke led to that bit of a hazy scene that we had out there here today. The little bit of cloud cover that also came off of that is slowly fading away, moving to the east. We're expecting to go back to more sunshine as we head into tomorrow. So 55 overnight, partly cloudy, a little on the cooler side, but pretty close to our average lows for this time of the year. Tomorrow, it's right back to the low 80s, partly cloudy to mostly sunny and fantastic. Not a lot to talk about in the forecast for this week, but all eyes go to the weekend then. Memorial Day weekend does have some chances for rain. I'm going to be tracking them for you here as we get into the full forecast in just a bit.
Thank you, Justin. New tonight, a lawsuit filed by the Louisville Metro police officer who was shot by Breonna Taylor's boyfriend has been dismissed. Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, shot LMPD Sergeant John Mattingly during the raid on Taylor's apartment back in March of 2020 that led to her death. Walker claimed he was acting in self-defense. In October of 2020, Mattingly filed a lawsuit against Walker, claiming he suffered bodily assault and emotional distress from his injury. A judge dismissed the lawsuit on Friday. Mattingly's attorney says both sides agreed to dismiss the case. Walker's attorney says he's happy to have this behind him.
A traffic stop led to the Kentucky State Police to a home in Laurel County and a drug bust. 58-year-old Billy Hurley of London is facing a long list of charges, including trafficking meth and marijuana, along with possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. Troopers confiscated more than a pound of methamphetamine and heroin, as 4 firearms from a home on Chapel Road on East Bernstadt.
Big news here and great news in Fayette County. You know, school districts across Kentucky struggle to find teachers, but Fayette County Public Schools are now becoming the first in the state to start teacher salaries at above $50,000. Fayette County Schools says the tentative general fund budget will be $677 million plus. The Fayette County Board of Education has now unanimously passed a new school budget for the 2023-2024 school year. At tonight's meeting, the tentative budget was reviewed by the Budget and Finance Committee prior to submitting it to the board for approval. At the moment, Kenton County has the highest starting teacher pay at $45,772, while Fayette County Public Schools has the third highest at $44,106. Again, they have now approved to move that up to $50,000 starting pay, so hopefully that does help with recruitment.
Should help with shortages for sure. Well, coming up, a new unit opening at St. Joseph in London.
How preemie babies can now stay closer to home for neonatal care.
The first 10 minutes of Fox 56 News at 10 were brought to you commercial-free. Sponsored by UK Federal Credit Union.
They also have a bud-inspired room because it's a spud potato.
A spud potato.
Spud potato. Look at it. It's a giant potato.
Tam and Lee spilled the tea during the morning table talk.
Are there any cheese and bacon bits with
Yeah,
that
does it come with extra cheese and sour cream? That's what I want.
Live from Chevy Chase.
Welcome, everybody.
Hey, Mark. Did you find us a better bank?
I'm on it. Now, here's your host, Matt Jones.
Hey, this is Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio, here live at Mark's desk, and I want to tell you about UK Federal Credit Union. They have the best rates.
Great rates, but I do my banking there, Shannon, because they have the best service.
They have such great service, they even know me by name. Speaking of names, where's Ryan? Babe, we're going with UK Federal Credit Union. Thanks, guys. You were done with this, right?
Make your first move with battery power made by Steel. Right now, save $50 on the FSA 57 battery trimmer. Real Steel. Find yours.
In a wreck? If the insurance company's trying to tempt you with a small settlement check, don't take the bait.
I'm attorney Daryl Isaacs. Don't let the insurance company off the hook for your medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. We'll fight hard to reel you in every dollar you deserve. We've recovered over $2 billion for our clients. Now we're ready to reel it in for you.
Call 877-ALL-7. One call, that's all.
Hit the road with Don Franklin's Somerset Kia. Lease the all-new 2023 Kia Forte for only $199 per month, or drive away in the all-new 2023 Kia Sportage LX as low as $27,790. Hurry in today to Don Franklin's Somerset Kia.
Sheldon and Missy face off in Book Smarts versus Street Smarts.
It was like thwack and the gathunk.
Young Sheldon, weeknights at 11.
This is Fox 56 News with Marvin Bartlett, Andrea Walker, and weather with Justin Esterly.
The ribbon was cut today on a new neonatal specialty care nursery at St. Joseph, London.
Danielle Miskell explains how this new hospital unit will help families with premature babies.
Next to the baby delivery wing at St. Joseph, London, is a new space to care for premature babies. It's called the Neonatal Specialty Care Nursery, and it's a $1.8 million project made possible by grants. It's been in the works since 2020. The celebratory opening also included a special blessing by a priest. The new unit includes 6 private rooms, all equipped with warmers and care stations.
We also have ventilators and other respiratory technology like CPAPs or vapotherm machines for babies that have increased respiratory needs, which a lot of times is the case if they're premature. We'll be able to take care of babies that are born as low as 32 weeks gestation.
St. Joseph London says that about every year, there are about 1,200 babies that are born here at this hospital, and about 100 of them need neonatal specialty care. Previously, those babies had to go to Lexington for care, but now this unit is open. One Kentucky senator is familiar with how hard the commute has been for Eastern Kentucky families, getting to Lexington, seeking care for preemie babies and mothers.
I travel back and forth daily. My wife had to stay up there because she was caring for the children, obviously, and they were in the NICU. So each hour she had to go over to the hospital to spend time with them. And we had one child that she was able to hold. So I travel back and forth each day to try to make ends meet.
The nursery is also equipped to help babies born with neonatal abstinence syndrome. It's what babies are born with if the mother was taking opioids during her pregnancy.
But now we're going to be able to do that here. And it's actually really important. These rooms that allow parents to stay are going to have them right here so that they can deliver the care, so that we can do education with them, talk to them about sometimes those babies have a little bit of difficulty feeding or other special needs that just the parents need a little bit more education to feel confident in how they can care for them.
In Laurel County, Danielle Miskell, Fox 56 News.
Coming up, we'll go around the world in 56 seconds.
Including the hunt for a girl that went missing 16 years ago while on family vacation.
And we're in for a wonderful week. Sunshine, warmer temperatures. The hiccups don't come in until Memorial Day weekend. I've got details on that coming up next.
As we head to break, Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is $150 million. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $179 million.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
Kentucky is a special place. I see it everywhere I go. People putting aside their differences and looking out for each other. We've been through a lot these past 4 years, and some days have been tougher than others. But I will always show up to help the people of Kentucky, working to make sure our kids and grandkids have a bright future here, bringing thousands of good-paying jobs to the Commonwealth, 46,000 more jobs than before the pandemic, clean drinking water to folks who've been overlooked and underserved, and making sure communities across Kentucky have what they need to recover from natural disasters. My granddad and great-granddad were preachers in this church. It was flattened by the tornadoes. But when Kentuckians get knocked down, we get right back up again, and we rebuild stronger and better than before. I will never stop showing up and working for the people of Kentucky.
At Fayette Heating and Air, you'll hear a friendly voice ready to turn your problems into solutions every time. That's our every time promise.
At Fayette Heating and Air, we back up every job with the best guarantees in the business. Every time. That's our every time promise.
At Fayette Heating and Air, we offer same-day emergency service with no overtime fees. Every time. That's our every time promise.
At Fayette Heating and Air, we value your time with convenient online scheduling. Every time. That's our every time promise.
Hit the road with Don Franklin Ford. Get the all-new 2023 Ford Expedition XL as low as $56,625, or drive away in the all-new 2023 Ford F-150 XL as low as $44,150. Hurry into Don Franklin Ford.
Right here in our little town of Grand Rivers, Kentucky, our restaurant has been serving friends and family for over 40 years. And to those, we say thank you for making Patty's that special place.
My name is Brad Hatton. I'm owner of Kentucky Gutter Pro. And when it comes to commercial and residential full exterior projects, we are the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Water directional sheet metal architectural engineering.
Now, your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Good evening and welcome back. Beautiful way to start the work week here. We've had sunshine and warmer temperatures today. Not a lot changes for us as we go through most of this week. There's not a lot of talking points either. Warm, sunny, dry. That's what we're going to go for here the next several days. We are going to see a cold front come in on Thursday. That's going to take those temps and knock them down just a peg. But outside of that, things are looking pretty wonderful for us here. Take a look as we go through this evening. We're already back into the mid-60s. We're probably going to lose another 10 degrees or so overnight tonight, waking up to the mid-50s as we head into tomorrow. But 60s right now, not too bad. Rebounding towards the low 80s the next 2 days. The average high 77, 81 tomorrow though for a forecast, 82 on Wednesday, and that cold front comes in, knocks us back to the low to mid-70s the rest of the way through your Memorial Day weekend. So the Memorial Day weekend's not looking all that bad. Just a couple of cooler mornings coming after that cold front, lows in the 40s here for us, possibly Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday morning. We could even see a couple of those for Memorial Day as well, but there's a few things that are a bit shaky in that forecast that are further down the line. Dew points-wise, wonderful. Nothing to deal with there in terms of humidity. Maybe just a touch as we go into tomorrow. But outside of that, things are going to continue to be pretty awesome. The warm air mass here showing up. You can see it's almost over the entire United States. But as that colder front comes in on Thursday, we're getting a pocket of colder air from the Great Lakes to sink down into the Ohio River Valley. And that's what's going to lead to that slightly cooler pattern as we go into the weekend. But albeit 5 to 10 degrees, not a whole lot coming with that. We've got some cloud cover in the mix here. That's fading fading away on satellite and radar. Rain chances are slim to none most every day this week, except when we get towards the weekend. Right now, there's just these few spotty showers. A low is going to eventually develop in the Gulf and just kind of roam around as we go into the end of the week. So rain chances real spotty for us. Friday and Saturday are the next best chances to maybe see a stray shower or two, and that's what we see on our weekend rain chance. This is that cutoff low I just mentioned. Watch as it just kind of floats around the deep south, eventually kicking up a few scattered shower chances for us as we head into the weekend. But this thing could literally go anywhere it wants to because the upper level winds aren't taking it anywhere. The jet stream is going to be off to the north while this thing sits around. So spotty at best for us, nothing very organized as we go into that Memorial Day weekend. Recapping for tonight, down to about 55. Let's go ahead and get you back towards 81 for tomorrow. Mostly sunny and enjoyable once again. Can't be mad about a forecast that looks like this. Even on the 7-day here, you're going to see a lot of nice temperatures. You're going to see a lot of low rain percentages. We've got 70s at least every day all the way through your Memorial Day weekend. Real spotty chances there, though, something we're going to watch. If anything comes organized, we'll obviously have updates for you, but can't complain about something that looks this good. Right, Marvin? Andrea?
You're absolutely right. Thank you, Justin. The accused Idaho killer pleads not guilty, and there's a plan to save the Colorado River.
Those stories and more as we go around the world in 56. A judge has entered a not guilty plea for Brian Koberger. The 28-year-old is accused of killing 4 students in their off-campus home in Idaho. The state now has 60 days to give notice as to whether it will seek the death penalty.
South Carolina Senator Tim Scott makes his 2024 bid for the White House official. The Republican congressman announced he's running for president in front of a crowd in Charleston. Scott brought his mom on stage, thanking her for her sacrifices, raising him as a single parent. He says he believes anything is possible in, quote, the greatest nation on God's green earth.
Arizona, California, and Nevada are proposing a plan to relieve a drought crisis in the Colorado River through 2026. The government would pay out federal funding to cities, irrigation districts, and Native American tribes in exchange for using less water. No word yet on the exact dollar amount.
Police in Portugal resumed their search for any traces of Madeleine McCann, who went missing in May 2007 while on vacation with her family in the country. Vehicles and an investigation tent were spotted where McCann was last seen. The British toddler was only 3 years old when she disappeared from a holiday apartment. Her parents marked what would have been their daughter's 20th birthday earlier this month, vowing to never give up the search for her. In tonight's talker, a husky in Alabama is being called the ultimate party animal.
Yeah, you're about to see why, too. The pup, named Titan, was surrendered by his owner earlier this month, and it appears the husky somehow managed to escape from his enclosure, leaving quite a mess behind for employees to discover the next day. The shelter shared some photos of the aftermath, revealing a pretty chaotic scene, as well as a guilt-free Titan waiting for them at the front door. And Marvin, I know I've told you many stories about my sweet pup Bullet wreaking havoc on our home as well.
Yeah, I've never seen destruction quite that bad there from your dog.
Well, he did eat the family Bible.
He did.
I don't know about that one. Yes, the word of God is in him. And that's tonight's talker. Here's Mitch with a first look at sports.
All right, well, it is postseason time for Kentucky baseball. They are in Alabama getting ready to face Alabama. We hear from Nick Migione as they get ready for game number 1, hoping it's not a quick trip to Hoover. Stick around. Sports is up next.
Scan the QR code on your screen now and download the Fox 56 News app, sponsored by the Kentucky Lottery. Over $4.4 billion in grants and scholarships.
They also have a Bud-inspired room because it's a spud potato. A spud potato? Spud potato. Look at it. It's a giant potato.
Tam and Lee spilled the tea during the morning table talk.
Are there any cheese and bacon bits with that
does it come with extra cheese and sour cream? That's what I want.
Live from Chevy Chase. Fox 56, the Weather Authority, is sponsored by Bryant Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. Call Bryant 365 days a year for repairs, replacements, and service on all the systems that drive your home comfort. One call, Bryant Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
When plumbing problems strike, there's only one name you need to remember: Don Howard Plumbing. As your trusted neighborhood plumber for over 85 years, we've got the expertise to tackle any plumbing issue, day or night. From clogged drains to leaky toilets, water heaters, and more, we're here to provide reliable same-day service when you need it most. Don't Don't let plumbing problems dampen your day. Turn to Don Howard Plumbing and experience peace of mind. Visit DonHowardPlumbing.com to schedule your service today. Don Howard Plumbing. Call Don Howard any hour, 24/7.
At Rally's, I'm in the driver's seat. Give me that $5 meal deal with a Rally Burger or a mushroom Swiss burger with fries, chicken bites, and a drink for just $5. Whatever you order, own it at Rally's. Get all that flavor delivered.
Come visit where the West began, Harrodsburg, Kentucky. There's so much to do. Harrodsburg starts here.
Hit the road with Don Franklin Chevrolet. Get 1.9% APR for 36 months plus no payments for 90 days on the all-new 2023 Chevy Traverse. Or save up to $4,000 off MSRP on the 2023 Silverado 1500, starting as low as $43,090. Find new roads at Don Franklin Chevrolet.
I was on the way to work, and I got rear-ended. The first person that I called was Morgan & Morgan. With Morgan & Morgan, the process in general, very easy. I could be in a different state, and for me to just do this, click this e-sign, I'm like, okay. Working with Morgan & Morgan is so easy.
Hey, got a minute? Download the Fox 56 News app to get up-to-the-minute news alerts and the Weather Authority forecast.
Sponsored by ADA Heating and Air. Now, Fox 56 Sports.
Welcome in. KT Turner left to become a head coach earlier in the spring at UT Arlington, so Kentucky had an opening that needed to be filled on John Calipari's bench, and Calipari is going to the NBA ranks to get his latest assistant. Today, John Welch named to the staff. Welch spent nearly 20 years in the NBA working with Hall of Fame coaches like George Carlin, Hubie Brown, Doc Rivers as well. He's been tabbed as a player developer across the league. He helped with DeMarcus Cousins and Carmelo Anthony. John Calipari in a press release today saying Welch will have a big role in improving the dribble drive offense he's been around for his coaching career, offensive strategy, and the leader for the on-court development of players. Now today, the SEC announced all conference teams for baseball. Second baseman Millian Petre made the second team and the all-defensive team. Also making that all-defensive team is Hunter Gillum, the UK baseball seniors, hoping this past weekend wasn't the last time they'll get to swing their bats at Kentucky Proud Park. There's a chance they get to host a regional next week, but they've got to do some work in this SEC tournament. It begins tomorrow for the Wildcats, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. First pitch against Alabama, 8 seed versus 9. Kentucky needs to win a few games for that security on Selection Sunday. Nick Mingione says they'll need some Hoover magic this week.
We're not bringing a team full of guys that have never been there. So now that we have a group of guys that have been there, they've seen it, they've done it, they've tasted it, they smelt it, and we'll need them to play good next week. But, especially on Tuesday, win or go home. It's kind of fun. If you don't like that in sports, then you shouldn't be involved in it.
Amen to that, Nick Mingione. That game, again, 5:30 p.m. tomorrow evening. Guys, over to you.
All right, thank you, Mitch. Coming up, we're continuing to watch horrific news coming out of Scott County tonight.
We'll take a look at the latest details after a deputy was shot at a traffic stop.
Scan the QR code on your screen now and download the Fox 56 News app, sponsored by the Kentucky Lottery. Over $4.4 billion in grants and scholarships.
Road with Don Franklin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Save over $13,000 off MSRP on the all-new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn, as low as $45,251. Or drive away in the all-new 2022 Jeep Compass Latitude, as low as $25,825. Don Franklin Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Find your adventure in Cave City, Kentucky. City. Adventure awaits. When you need
to tow, the name to know is Gatormade Trailers. Based in Somerset, Kentucky, Gatormade is the nation's leader in top quality trailers and low monthly payments. Gatormade has thousands of trailers in stock, sold factory direct to you. Advanced technology makes Gatormade great for hauling freight, contracting, home or farm use, and anyone who needs reliable, durable equipment. The home of easy financing. When you need to tow, the name to know is Gatormade Trailers.
Psoriasis really messes with you.
Try, hope, fail.
No one should suffer like that.
I started Cosentix. 5 years clear.
Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentix. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections, some serious, and the lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Tell your doctor if your Crohn's disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
Best move I ever made.
Ask your dermatologist about Cosentix.
It's time for the Bluegrass Stockyards Barbecue Festival. Show off your cooking skills as teams from all over the region compete for the title of Best Tasting Brisket, Pulled Pork, and One Bite Recipe. Do you have what it takes to be crowned champion? We'll have live music, activities for the kids, local vendors, wine tasting by Talon Winery, and plenty of food and drinks for everyone. And the best part? Admission is only $20 per carload. Don't miss out on the fun. Head down to the Bluegrass Stockyards Barbecue Festival, June 10th from noon to 8 p.m.
Bush Stromet and Associates 20 years of experience in Social Security disability to your advantage. Our team provides personal, professional care to help you win the benefits that are owed to you. Stromet and Associates have helped thousands of disabled people by taking them through the process step by step. Call 859-246-0246 before you file to discuss your Social Security disability claim. Stromet and Associates specializing in Social Security disability.
Hit the road with Don Franklin and Lexington Nissan. Get 0% APR for 36 months plus $1,000 cash back on the all-new 2023 Nissan Rogue. Or drive away in the all-new 2023 Nissan Kicks, starting as low as $22,550. Hurry into Don Franklin Lexington Nissan.
Furniture World is one of the country's top sellers of My Tricia Yearwood home collection.
Live from Lexington, our home, your news. This is Fox 56 News at 10:30.
We appreciate you staying with us on what's been a tough night for sure. We are continuing to track tragic news out of Scott County.
A deputy is dead after being shot during a traffic stop on I-75. During an emotional news conference earlier tonight, Sheriff Tony Hampton identified the fallen deputy as Caleb Conley, who'd been with the department for 4 years. The 35-year-old Army veteran leaves behind a wife and small children, along with his parents. He's pictured here receiving an award for keeping drunk drivers off the streets. Tributes and condolences are pouring in from across the state, including this one from Governor Andy Beshear, asking Kentuckians to pray for the fallen deputy, his family, and his fellow law enforcement officers. He ended by saying, quote, "This hero made the ultimate sacrifice, and we will be forever grateful."
Now, it's still unclear at this point what led up to that deadly shooting, but we can confirm that the suspect who fled the scene is now in custody. After allegedly killing Officer Conley, the shooter made his way to Lexington, where he shot a man and stole his car on Georgetown Road. No word on that man's condition at this point. Police used flock cameras to track the stolen vehicle down to Whitney Avenue. The suspect was arrested a short time later at a home on Charles Avenue. Police still have not released the suspect's name. We will, of course, continue to update this story both on air and online as we learn more. Turning now to national news, we'll soon see whether high-stakes Oval Office debt limit talks between President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy bear any fruit.
The gulf between the two seemed to widen over the weekend as both sides postured, but at least they're talking, as a June 1st deadline looms. With just days to go to reach a deal, Biden and McCarthy are still negotiating how to raise the government's $31.4 trillion debt ceiling. After a meeting at the Oval Office, Kevin McCarthy called talks productive, despite still not reaching an agreement on the issue. McCarthy has been pressuring the White House to agree on spending cuts to the federal budget, but President Biden has called them too extreme. Meanwhile, the president is pushing for new taxes on the wealthy, which Republicans are rejecting.
Felt we had a productive discussion. We don't have an agreement yet, but I did feel the discussion was productive in areas that we have differences of opinion. We're going to have the staffs continue to get back together and work on some of the things that we had talked about.
If a deal isn't reached by June 1st, economists warn the U.S. economy could default on its debts and fall into a recession, which could drive interest rates higher on everything from car payments to credit cards.
With Memorial Day just days away now, we're celebrating those who have served our country.
Tonight, Colleen Finney has the story of groundbreaking military vet who flew the world's largest helicopter during the Vietnam War.
Frank Cannon, an 86-year-old Vietnam veteran, was drafted at the young age of 23. Cannon spent 20 years in the military, serving 2 tours in Vietnam. His first tour starting in August of 1966 to August of 1967, and the second tour from March of 69 to March of 70. During this time in the military, he flew Sky Crane helicopters.
Sky Crane is a special aircraft that the Army used to have. They have them no more. It was used to haul heavy loads because that was the only aircraft that could haul the loads that the Army had.
The Sky Crane was the helicopter that could lift other helicopters, with a lift capability of 25,000 pounds. During the Vietnam War, this helicopter was used to transport large guns and weapons, as well as pick up downed helicopters. Cannon fondly remembers the years he served, being one of the few African-American pilots at that time.
It was a very rewarding experience. I don't want to go through it again, but nevertheless, it was specialized aircraft, and it was just too special for the Army, for the Army's needs.
Now, years later, he spends most of his free time traveling and farming on his family farm in Jessamine County. To many around him, Cannon has been an inspiration. His son says he paved the way for him and his siblings to join the military. The fact that his father was able to fly, at that time, the largest helicopter in the free world, provided hope for many.
Daddy grew up on this farm in Jessamine County, and he is one of the last African Americans that flew Sky Cranes in Vietnam alive. He started right here. So you can start from anywhere and go great places.
In Nicholasville, Colleen Finney, Fox 56 News.
Many people are expected to travel this Memorial Day weekend.
Coming up, what TSA is recommending as summer travel is expected to be high.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news. Hairstyling provided by Parlor Salon.
They also have a bud-inspired room because it's a spud potato. A spud potato? Spud potato. Look at it. It's a giant potato.
Tam and Lee spilled the tea during the morning table talk.
Are there any cheese and bacon bits with that
does it come with extra cheese and sour cream? That's what I want.
Live from Chevy Chase.
It's a family affair at your favorite diner. Josie's in Chevy Chase is serving up breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Try hit selections like our blueberry pancakes, Asian sesame salad, the smokehouse burger, or Josie's famous Reuben. Family owned and family friendly. Quality food made with love and service from an amazing staff. Parking is free, so come on down to Josie's.
That's delicious.
America's #1 hot tub manufacturer states this fact: made in the USA. All our hot tubs are built right here. Selling hot tubs directly to you saves you thousands while keeping jobs here in the USA. Shop us now at hottubsusa.com.
For your next clogged drain, don't call a general plumber, call a specialist. The experts at Lex Reuter specialize in clogged drains and pipes. We offer preventative maintenance and 24-hour emergency service for your peace of mind. Lex Reuter, we keep you flowing.
Hit the road with Kentucky's #1 Hyundai dealer, Don Franklin Hyundai. Get 2.9% APR for 36 months plus $750 cash back on the all-new 2023 Hyundai Tucson. Or drive away in the all-new 2023 Hyundai Elantra for as low as $22,495. Hurry into Don Franklin Lexington Hyundai.
My name is Justin Peterson. If you or a loved one have suffered a serious personal injury, my promise to you is that I will meet with you to discuss your case. I will personally handle your case and work hard as possible to ensure accountability. Other attorneys you see on TV will not give you those promises because they can't make that happen. In order to make sure the at-fault party is accountable for your harms and losses, your attorney must understand how your injury has impacted your life, which means getting to know you. Kentucky, call me.
And they're off. He broke all
the records in 1973. And in 2023, he still holds them. And the crowd goes wild. 50 years later, and the legend that started in Louisville is coming home. Relive the story of Secretariat, only at Kentucky Derby Museum.
Make a community connection with UK Healthcare. Tuesdays on the Fox 56 Morning News, get the latest in family health and wellness from the experts. UK Healthcare. Extraordinary care is right here.
Before you plan your weekend, check the 7-day forecast on Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Sponsored by Bryant Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
The Transportation Security Administration is expecting record-setting numbers of travel this holiday weekend.
Fox's Mike Emanuel is in Washington with more on why some are questioning if the airlines will be able to keep up.
Whether traveling by train, plane, or automobile, Memorial Day weekend travel is expected to be busy.
Please arrive early.
In a press conference previewing summer travel expectations, TSA officials warned travelers should brace for an intense season of summer travel. This past Sunday, the nation saw nearly 2.7 million travelers, a 12% increase from the same day last year, and a preview of what's expected to come.
And that is also the highest number since the pandemic. We have fully recovered in aviation.
AAA projects more than 42 million travelers will head out this holiday weekend, with air travel alone increasing 11% over last year.
From TSA's perspective, we are ready.
But some question if the airlines are ready. Last year saw a spike in flight cancellations, an investigation by the GAO citing staffing shortages, maintenance problems, and other factors within airlines' control. In December, Southwest Airlines alone infamously canceled nearly 17,000 flights, stranding more than 2 million customers.
Lack of communication, very disorganized.
This year, airlines say they are better prepared. Still, the Biden administration is working to require airlines to cover the costs that passengers are forced to shell out during delays and cancellations. TSA announced a new pre-check policy today and said teens between the ages of 13 and 17 can now travel with their parents through pre-check security. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Stay with us for 5 things to know before you go to bed.
Including why chocolate milk could be banned in school cafeterias.
And we've got decent weather all week long here across the Commonwealth, but we've got some rain chances when it counts, Memorial Day weekend. I've got details on that coming up.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.
Tuesday, another Banfield exclusive. The grandparents of one of Lori Vallow's murdered children join Ashley live and in person in their first interview since the guilty verdict. Tuesday on Banfield, only on News Nation.
All next week, Morning in America is live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where 33 engines are getting ready for the big race. And the fans can't wait for the flag to fly. Live at the Indy 500 on Morning in America, all next week on News Nation.
It's Ashley's Memorial Day weekend sale. Be one of the first to take advantage of these must-have items, now under $500. And get up to 50% off Spotlight deals. Or get no interest for 72 months. Only at Ashley.
Is your HVAC system more than 8 years old? It's likely you have outdated equipment. Call ADA Heating and Air today for a free estimate on a new system.
We're only installing the most efficient systems to meet new government requirements. A new, more efficient system means you will start saving on your utility bills immediately, and you may qualify for a tax credit. Call ADA Heating and Air today.
ADA Heating and Air. ADA is on the way.
Kentucky is a special place. I see it everywhere I go. People putting aside their differences and looking out for each other. We've been through a lot these past 4 years, and some days have been tougher than others. But I will always show up to help the people of Kentucky, working to make sure our kids and grandkids have a bright future here, bringing thousands of good-paying jobs to the Commonwealth, 46,000 more jobs than before the pandemic. clean drinking water to folks who've been overlooked and underserved, and making sure communities across Kentucky have what they need to recover from natural disasters. My granddad and great-granddad were preachers in this church. It was flattened by the tornadoes. But when Kentuckians get knocked down, we get right back up again, and we rebuild stronger and better than before. I will never stop showing up and working for the people of Kentucky.
In 1972, the Huber family opened Central Equipment, selling and servicing tractors. As the city has grown, Central Equipment's offerings have grown too. In the early 80s, we added X-Mark mowers, quality mowers that cut the lawn and mow the fence rows. X-Mark, the official mower for backyard living. Today, Central Equipment has become one of their top 10 dealers nationally. Come see us and see the 50-year evolution of Central Equipment.
Ashley's Memorial Day mattress sale is going on now. Right now, you can save $1,000 on select Sealy mattresses or get no interest for 72 months on top bedding brands. Give yourself the restful, rejuvenating sleep you need to be your best self this summer. Only at Ashley.
A sinking city, a mega fine for Meta, and a possible ban on chocolate milk.
Don't like that. Here are 5 things to know before you go to bed. American employers are facing a big problem in hiring. Fewer workers are willing to move for a new job. A new survey notes that the rate of workers moving for a new role dropped to 1.6% in the first quarter of the year. Researchers say that's the lowest quarterly result since 1986. Factors for Americans not wanting to move include hybrid and remote positions, high home prices, and mortgage rates.
Meta is being hit with a record-setting fine by privacy regulators in the European Union. Facebook's parent company is facing a $1.3 billion fine by Ireland's Data Protection Commissioner over its mishandling of user data. The DPC is concerned about the amount of personal data Meta has been transferring from Europe to the U.S. It's giving the tech giant 5 months to stop. Meta called the fine unjustified and unnecessary and said it will be appealing.
A new study finds New York City is sinking. Researchers from the U.S. Geological Survey and the University of Rhode Island say the nation's largest city is gradually falling in on itself from the weight of its buildings. The scientists calculated the mass of the city's more than 1 million buildings at about 1.7 trillion pounds. They also use surface and geology and satellite data. Some areas had greater sink-in rates than others.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture is considering a ban on chocolate milk in middle and elementary school cafeterias. A Wall Street Journal report says the USDA, which regulates school lunches, is concerned about added sugars in flavored milk products. Strawberry milk and other flavors could also face the ban. If flavored milk is kept within schools, it may face new limits on added sugars.
And one company is willing to pay people $100 an hour to watch TikTok. Talk about easy money. Marketing agency Ubiquitous is looking for 3 people to spot up-and-coming trends on the platform. All they have to do is watch 10 hours of TikTok. Those interested do have to be 18 or older and explain in a short paragraph why they're the best person for the job. Those chosen will have to share their experience on social media after their TikTok binge is over. The deadline to apply is May 31st. There you go, 5 things to know before you go to bed.
Now, your forecast from Fox 56 News, the weather authority.
Well, we had a good one out there for us here to start the work week, and I've got a fantastic forecast for you all the way down into the Memorial Day weekend. Now, just ahead of that weekend, warmth, sunshine, dry conditions all come in. Even the cold front that's expected to come in on Thursday isn't going to do a ton to our temperatures, maybe dropping them about 5 to 10 degrees at best. It's a real quiet week here across the Commonwealth with not a lot going on. 65 the current air temp right now in Lexington. Most of us still hanging on to the 60s here. We're going to lose about 10 more degrees overnight tonight to wake up tomorrow in the mid-50s before we rebound again towards the 80s. 81 for Tuesday, 82 for Wednesday. Slow climb to get knocked down a few degrees for Thursday. We still have the 70s all the way into your Memorial Day weekend. Just around or maybe a few degrees below average across the board. Still looking and feeling pretty good. The overnight lows, they stay warm enough tonight and tomorrow, but then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we could see them trickle into the 40s, a cool and refreshing type of start for us here as we roll into the morning hours. And that lasts into your Memorial Day weekend as well. So leading up to the holiday weekend, the long weekend here, there's not a lot taking place. The muggy meter is in the pleasant category all across the board. You might feel just a touch of it Tuesday and possibly a little on Wednesday before that cold front gets here. But even then, not a lot happening. Check out these mid-level temperatures. This map shows the trends of that and how we've got a nice warm, dry air mass over place. But as we go into later parts of Thursday, cooler air sinks in from the Great Lakes just enough to knock those temps down, keeps it less humid, and keeps it dry for us across the board. A couple of clouds strolling across satellite and radar for us. The bulk of the spotty shower activity staying down to our south. Eventually, though, it is going to kind of start to coast up towards us by the weekend. Still, those chances Friday, Saturday, very spotty. Very spotty. In fact, we've got this next low coming in, and it's going to be a cutoff low, meaning it's just separate from the upper level flow pattern. The jet stream not influencing this. So what it does is it just kind of floats around, tries to grab some moisture from the Gulf, and spins overhead and possibly kicks up a couple shower chances for us through our weekend. And that's what we're going to be tracking for you as we go through this week. Outside of that, quiet. 55, partly cloudy and cool overnight for us tomorrow. Let's get you towards 81, pleasant, sunny. Can't ask for a better forecast here for us this week. Even into that 7-day forecast for the holiday weekend, we've got mid-70s across the board and real light chances for rain. This is an awesome 7 days of sun and fun. Mitch?
Perfect. We can get these baseball and softball championships in this regional week on the local scene. We've got highlights coming your way from across the area. Up next in sports.
Scan the QR code on your screen now and download the Fox 56 News app, sponsored by the Kentucky Lottery. Over $4.4 billion in grants and scholarships. If it's the pros, the Cats, or home team Friday nights, Fox 56 has your team covered. Don't wait up for scores and highlights. Catch Mitch Brown with sports every night on the Fox 56 News at 10. Sponsored by Arby's.
Hit the road with Don Franklin's Somerset Kia. Lease the all-new 2023 Kia Forte for only $199 per month, or drive away in the all-new 2023 Kia Sportage LX as low as $27,790. Hurry in today to Don Franklin's Somerset Kia.
Mattress Overstock's floor model closeout sale is going on now. Save up to 50% off select Stearns & Foster and Tempur-Pedic mattresses. Save up to 50% off select Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets. With prices so low, you'll be sure to rest easy. Visit any of our 5 locations or shop online at mattressoverstock.us.
Ready to hit refresh? Let Cartown Kia jumpstart your season of savings with great deals on an incredible selection of new Kias.
Refresh in the new 2024 Kia Seltos, lease for just $349 down and $349 a month. Or save all month long on the 2023 Kia Forte, lease for just $299 down and $299 a month.
Unmatched design, comfort, and savings all in one at Cartown Kia and CartownKiaUSA.com.
Losing weight is never easy. If you're looking for the most affordable options to reach your goals, then look no further than the experts at Horizon Weight Loss and Sculpting, now offering the newest medication to help shed those unwanted pounds. Semaglutide will give you the results you're looking for. Only $2.99 for the first 4 weeks. Hurry in for your free consultation and don't miss out on this special offer. To see how this incredible drug can change your life, visit HorizonWeightLoss.com.
When your home systems are working, life is good. But when they are not, we're here for you, and we make it easy. One call for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric needs. Call Bryant. 365 days a year, whenever you need us, for repairs, replacement, and service on all the systems that drive your home comfort. One call. Call Bryant. Our work is backed by a 100% guarantee, so you can trust the experts that have been keeping homes comfortable since 1940. For all of your home comfort needs, call Bryant.
Hit the road with Don Franklin Lexington Buick GMC. Drive away with no payments for 90 days on the all-new 2023 GMC Sierra 1500. Or start your journeys in the all-new 2023 Buick Encore GX, starting as low as $25,525. Don Franklin Lexington Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
There is no pecan chicken salad sandwich quite like this one. Nope. This Arby's made-to-order masterpiece can't be topped. Except very literally by honey wheat bread. Arby's, we have the meat.
Now, Fox 56 Sports. Sponsored by
Welcome
Arby's.
in with Kentucky baseball having a good shot to host an NCAA regional. The start of the high school baseball state tournament has been moved to the Counter Clock Stadium. Our local prep squads, they don't care about the ballpark. They just want to get there. Lexington Catholic ended the regular season losing 4 of its last 5 games, but bounced back strong last week, winning the 43rd district tournament. Already up on Franklin County in the 5th inning. How about some small ball here? Perfect bunt down the first baseline. Nobody covering the bag. That's a hit. And a run scored to get the Knights ahead 8-2. And it was a Lex-Cath Avalanche after that. Griffin Cameron ripping one into the right field with the bases loaded. The throw home not in time. 2-run score. A run rule victory for Lex-Cath 16-2 over Franklin County. The Pups were having fun at Sayre Athletic. That's a good doggo. Madison Southern in town to take on the Spartans. Scoreless in the 3rd. Dirk Visser stealing second base, but the throw gets past the fielder's head. Visser gets on his high horse and heads on down to 3rd. Another overthrow. So, hey, let's keep on going there. At the bag into the dugout. So he's awarded another base. A free trip to home plate for the first run of the game. Big dogs, little dogs. That was just the start of it for Sayre. Brock Kaufman smokes one into the right center gap. He would get a double out of that. 8-0 shutout win for Sayre over Madison Southern. Spartans rolling. In softball 11th region, Lafayette, Madison Southern. This game, they came out swinging. 2 runners on base for Madison Southern, and no doubt that Leah Holland squared this one up. Crushes it deep to the fence. Anaya White and Claire Cronin come across home plate, but puts the Generals up 3-0 there. They have Madison Southern right where they want them. Same inning, still 1 out. Generals with 2 on. Jenna Wells with a ground ball up the first base line, and she puts on the Jets. Just watch. Holland comes home. Anna Clay didn't right behind her, and Wells slides across home plate inside the park. Home run for her. Generals get 5 runs in that inning. They get the dub 13-0. Still in the 11th region, Lex-Cath, Madison Central. The Knights wasted no time getting the taste of the loss in the district title game out of their mouth. Up 5-0 in 20 minutes. Insane, but what a day for Abby Hammond. It's clear why Rachel Lawson wants her at Kentucky. She only gave up 2 hits in the entire game. This Knights defense all around too much tonight. They take down Mad Central 5-0. And tomorrow, postseason play begins in the ASUN tournament for Eastern Kentucky. They take on Stetson down there in Florida. A big chance for the Colonels to get out of pool play. They played 3 games regardless. So the top 2 teams from each pool, they advance to the semifinals. So Coach knows that it's going to be a huge challenge, but it's a big opportunity for his guys.
And you've heard me say that before, is that if you kind of get too far ahead of yourself, the day that you're in or the opponent that you're playing that day will hurt your feelings a little bit. And so this is certainly a situation where we can't be looking past Stetson to Austin P on Wednesday and Jacksonville State on Thursday because, one, Stetson's really good. We don't have to remind our guys of that at all. But then number 2, that there is no game but Tuesday's game because of the pool that we're playing in.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah.
This time of the year.
He's right. You got to take them one at a time.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you, Mitch.
All right, one more check. Do we have time?
Sure. We got, nothing going on. 70s every day, a couple of 80s, lots of sun, hardly any rain chances till the weekend.
Love to see it. Thank you all so much for watching. Our next newscast is at 5 a.m.
Have a good night.